Um, so thank you all for joining us. Really appreciate so many members of the media showing up, and also so many members of our task force. I am speaking on behalf of the Opening Central Texas for Business Task Force, which started about 2 months ago and now represents nearly 200 community and business leaders who are truly dedicated to opening our economy safely and in the healthiest way possible. We've been really proud to lead this effort. Both Mayor Adler and former Judge Sarah Eckhart reached out to us to ask us not only to identify members for a task force, but to put something together that could really lean in and help this community figure out what right looks like when it comes to balancing our health with our economy. We have been working really hard for the last 2 months with 3 really important purposes. One is to be those eyes and ears for the city and the county so that as we move forward with opening the economy, we know from businesses themselves what makes the business healthy, what keeps workers safe and healthy, what keeps customers safe and healthy. The second purpose that we've had is to help inform the city and the county on what kinds of assistance would be the most meaningful as federal aid dollars come through. We want to make sure that those assistance dollars are focused in the most important, most strategic ways. And the third purpose, which is why we're here today, is to pull together as a community and do those things that keep us as safe as possible. We recognize that we have seen recent rises in COVID-19 cases. We are concerned about that. Health officials have made it abundantly clear to all of us that one of the most important things that we can do as a community is to wear masks and to socially distance. And so we decided to put together a campaign that would inspire people to be responsible members of this community and to be purposeful as individuals and as Austinites. So that leads us to the Let's Be a City of Us campaign. Roy Spence enough for jumping into this with both feet, both hands, and his heart to develop a campaign in just 2 weeks with his team that really allows us as a community not just to put our face masks on, but to open up with a bigger heart and more listening than we ever have before. So we are encouraging businesses to visit austincityofus.com. You can download this content for free. This is a grassroots business effort, so we've developed the content so that you can tell your customers, you can tell your workforce, you can tell your vendors all about this and be a part of this effort. We're also going to be developing some branded collateral, of course. There will be hats and face masks and t-shirts so that we can see this effort online in our Zoom meetings. And when we are out in the community, people can see that we are representing this idea of the City of Us campaign. So I want to stop again. Thank you, Roy, for all that you've done in contributing your time and probably most importantly, your genius. I also want to thank the mayor for allowing the chamber to play such a pivotal role in this really important time in our community. So I'm going to stop there. We're certainly here to answer questions. And Mayor Adler, I'm going to turn it over to you, and then we're going to let Roy kind of roll this out for us. You're going to need to unmute.
Laura, thank you, and thanks to the task force for stepping in here this way, for the guidance and direction you have given us on the orders we've entered into previously. We're going to be, city will be updating its order today, just to be consistent with what the judge did on Friday. And it's looking really to businesses under the governor's outline for businesses to help us have a community that's doing everything we can to try and keep businesses open. You know, I think it's apparent that businesses, more than anyone else, probably understands the importance of the community really doing everything it can do to try to keep the economy open. I really want to thank Roy Spence for stepping in here and helping with the campaign. I've gotten a sneak preview of the campaign. I think it is wonderful. I love thinking of our city as a city of us, because that's so true. You know, this community stopped what it was doing and did what it took to flatten the curve. I was just so proud to be part of a community that was willing to act so selflessly in the common good. Well, we're watching the numbers go up now. You know, as we open up the economy, there's more interaction. If we want to keep the economy open, then we have to really do those social interactions in ways that stop the transfer of the virus as best we can. Because the alternative for us doing that in an opening economy is to start having conversations about whether we pull back from that, which no one wants to do. So this is gut check time. This is, are we as a community willing to really step out and help one another to get this achieved? And I love the campaign. It speaks to who we are as a community. It speaks to the selflessness that we have exhibited in the past, most recently just a month and a half ago. It makes me really proud just to watch this campaign. And I know that as a community, we can do this. I'm inspired. I just really thank everybody for doing this. Getting the word out to the community and the importance of this is critical. And that's what a campaign like this is for. Thank you all for stepping up.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead, Daniel.
No, jump on in. Start the show.
Well, first of all, thank y'all, Chris, for coming and being here, and thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Laura, stepping into the chamber job in April, putting together this amazing task force, which I just got to know over the last couple of weeks, but on a central purpose, and that is when our businesses open up, and I get a little emotional about this, small businesses in particularly, because we started our little business 50 years ago. When they're opening up, we've got to do everything as a community, as a customer, and as a consumer to help them get back on their feet again. And that's what that whole task force was about. And so when y'all asked me to get involved, obviously I wanted to donate whatever I had in terms of ideas. And we've been working together now for about 2 weeks. And then again, as the mayor said, last week, the spike hit in Austin. And so we all kind of got together in terms of communicating with the people of Austin, not 1,000 things, one thing. And that one thing that we can all do, the one thing that we can all do to help our small businesses open up again and also halt the spike, not 1,000 things, but one thing, we can all wear a mask. If just for a moment in time, when you walk into a business or you walk into a place, wear a mask. When you get out and you go home, you can take it off. And so we all started thinking about our purpose here from a communications idea is what can we communicate to the consumers and customers and citizens of this great city and the greater Austin area to help us help small business and other businesses open up. So when the spike hit, we looked at that one thing, and I was just sitting there thinking about a truism. A mask on each of us will be a win for all of us. It'll be a win for our small businesses, because you know why? If you walk into a small business, no matter what kind it is, a bar, a restaurant, a retail, and you have a mask on, that's one less thing they have to worry about. They've got to worry about making sales. They've got to make sure they can make their payroll. So if we do one thing, we all wear a mask into these retail outlets. It's one less thing for that small business owner, his or her staff, their families to worry about. So if we could do the one thing, each of us, and then it helps all of us, that is what we're trying to communicate. And then I was telling Laura and the mayor that I was sitting out thinking about this us versus them thing that's going on around America. And, you know, all of this stuff going on. And then I realized something I had never realized before. there was a us in Austin. There is an us in Austin, and I can't even spell. I'm a terrible speller. Everybody knows that. But I saw that us and I went, oh my gosh. There's an us in Austin. And when we are at our best, we are a better us. We'll never be a perfect city of us. But if we start using this moment in time to bring us to talk and visit and listen and have a higher calling and a higher purpose, that's when I looked at that and said, man, let's be a city of us. And I had some awesome people working with me, and the staff and the chamber is stunningly amazing. But I'm just hoping that this route reach from a communication standpoint is a higher calling. We're here here, and if we're called to be a city of us, the best thing we can do right now for small businesses, which is a huge part of us, and for our community, wear a mask when you walk into the stores and the retail, because when you have a mask, we all win. So that's the idea. And thank y'all for letting me be a small part of this. I deeply appreciate it.
Wonderful. With that, we will go ahead and open this up for Q&A from the media. Reporters on the line, if you can use the Q&A tool at the bottom of the screen, we will get to your questions as fast as we can. Please include the name of your outlet when asking questions using the Q&A tool. Thank you. We have a question from Bridget Spencer from Fox. This is for Mayor Adler. Mayor, you retweeted a post with Austin on a top 5 list for fastest case growth. What does that say about what's happening here? Are people relaxing precautions too much?
There's no question but that people are relaxing cautions measures way too much in our city. I think that too many people think that we're past this virus and that we're now on an uninterrupted trajectory to opening up the economy and getting back to what they remember as being life. We are very much still in the middle of this virus. And if our city is going to be able to avoid having to pull back on the economy or having our hospital capacity overwhelmed, then we have to do something. On the current trajectory we're on, we don't end up in a good place. But we have an impact on that. And that's what this campaign is about. It's empowering the community to be able to do something about the trajectory. Yes, we've relaxed too much, and that's because I think too many people have believed that we were past the crisis, and we are not. We're in the middle of this virus.
Again, members of the media, if you have a question for our panelists, please use the Q&A tool at the bottom of the screen. We'll go ahead and stay on here for a few more seconds to see if we have any additional questions.
Did you run the 30-second spot before I got on? Do you have the capacity to do that?
We sure do. Please hold.
Danielle, I've got it up.
We did it at a staff meeting this morning, so surely we can do it again.
As we open up businesses and begin rebuilding dreams here in Austin, let's also open up a new day of listening and mutual respect. That while we are all different, there is an us in Austin. And today, our local business owners, our hospitals, and our neighbors need us to wear a mask. A mask on each of us is a win for all of us. Let's be that city of us.
We have an additional question from Brittany Ford with CBS Austin. What is this going to look like for encouraging businesses to participate going out passing masks. What will the boots on the ground effort look like for this? And I believe Laura can answer that question, and Roy.
Yeah, so yes, this is actually boots on the ground. That's the point of this, is for each business to be a part of this campaign, for them to make sure that employees are safe, that customers are safe. There are organizations out in the community that are helping get masks to small businesses, and we are helping with those efforts. We're also going to be, and the name of that group, by the way, is Austin Emergency Supply Foundation, is providing free masks to small businesses. We're also going to make masks with this logo available. And the idea is that we all lean in together. So yes, this is all about boots on the ground. And I can tell you that this task force with over 200 representatives is a resource. We've gotten calls and emails this morning from task force members that are trying to figure out ways to run these ads in their waiting rooms. We're going to have stickers that businesses can put up outside their doors to show that they're a part of this movement. And if there's an us in Austin, there's also an us in business. And I think that that's part of what we're leaning into today.
Yeah, my final point is that exactly what you said, Laura, is that, and the mayor, when we are a city of us, there's no stopping us. We seriously, when we decide that we're going to do something for the small business community, and we're going to do something to, not have the spikes in this virus, when we have the power of us together, there's no stopping us on the goodness that we can do. We are a city basically of goodness. And when we do this, goodness can rule. So let's all wear a mask and take care of our small businesses and take care of their families and let them get back on their feet again so they can stand tall too. So that's what we're trying to do. And thank you, citizens of Austin, and thank you, citizens of the Greater Austin and the task force. This is the power of us.
We have an additional question from Bridget Spencer with Fox 7. Mayor, you said you are updating the order. What will be added?
The order that went out on last week contained the same provision that was in the San Antonio Bexar County ordinance that asked businesses to start getting ready and to prepare their safety plans to require masks be used in all businesses of all types, by employees, by customers, by vendors. The order last week asked for those plans to be prepared. We told people to get ready to launch it for tomorrow. The order today will now say that businesses have to require masks by their vendors, employees, customers, all types of businesses. So it's just taking it that next step as we had outlined last week. No longer required just to have a plan. Now it's going to be required to actually have the behavior.
Well, wonderful. I believe that is all. Those are all the questions we had from media. Thank you so much, everyone, today for joining us. Laura, Roy, Mayor Adler, if you have any final comments, go ahead.
Again, I just want to thank.
Go ahead, Mayor.
I was going to say, and then I'll let it go to you. I just want to thank Roy. Number one, he has come forward in this city and this state so many times, and don't mess from beginning with don't mess from Texas or before. That's Roy, and I just love right now Austin, a city for us. I see us using that not just here with this campaign, but that really is how I think about this city, and I think you captured it. And Laura, congratulations on the new role with the chamber, and you have hit the ground running, already making such a huge impact citywide. Task force, please stay engaged. We're going to need you here as we go through these weeks, but for the first real public step out, this task force is already overperforming. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. And I'll just end by saying this. Mayor, I appreciate you reaching out to us to lead this effort, to recognizing that even as we moved through the early days of COVID-19, it was going to require collaboration between the business community, the city, and the county. So On behalf of the over 200 people that are actively participating in weekly calls, thank you. Thanks for issuing the challenge that we needed to come up with communications and a campaign that would encourage people to do the right thing, which led us to Roy Spence. And Roy, thank you. I agree with the mayor. This is a mantra that will work during COVID-19, but I think it's also an aspiration for us as a community to be reminded that we can be a city of us around any tough issue there is. So thank you for providing that aspiration.
You're welcome. Godspeed, everybody. Thank you all.
All right.